have an exercise accountability group for people with mild cognitive impairment, great group. And recently, one of the members said something really interesting. He posted this saying, I increased my MCT from 10 milligrams a day to 15 milligrams a day last week, and my cognition noticeably increased after a few days. A great experience. I will keep you posted through these weekly reports to see if my cognition remains higher than in prior months. So is that possible? Can someone with MCI take a little bit of MCT oil every day and see cognitive improvement? The short answer is yes. MCT oil is ketogenic, and we're seeing a lot of evidence that some people with MCI, not everyone, but a fair number, can see some improvement when they get ketos to the brain. So that's what I want to talk about today, and I have a very special guest to tell us all about it. Hi, I'm Tony Deering of GoCogno.com, the website for people with mild cognitive impairment. My guest today is Dr. Nate Bergman, Chief Scientific Wellness Officer at Kemper Cognitive Wellness in Cleveland. He is one of the preeminent experts in the treatment of MCI and the host of the Evolving Past Alzheimer's podcast. He was also kind enough to write the foreword to my new book on MCI, I Want My Mind Back, the GoCogno approach to halt or reverse mild cognitive impairment, which was just published and is available on Amazon. Dr. Bergman joined me recently for a Facebook Live in a private group for people with MCI to talk about ketones and ketosis. I invite you to watch the full Facebook Live, and I'm including a link below. But today and next week, I want to share some outtakes from that discussion. And it begins with this question. Do ketones and ketosis have the potential to benefit like most people with MCI, some people?
And if I don't know how much in the weeds we want to get into MCI, but there's amnestic forms or forgetful forms, non-amnestic. But for people that are really sort of on this trajectory of decline and are in the stages of neurodegenerative disease, as you well know, Tony, and probably most people that are joining us here, mild cognitive impairment, there's nothing mild about it at all. It is really a profound amount of brain loss. But we think for many people, there is still something to do about it, right? It's not so far gone often that there's nothing to do about it. Now, in terms of who can benefit from ketosis, so it's pretty clear to me that some people that have especially amnestic or the kind of the prodromal preclinical Alzheimer's forms of mild cognitive impairment, even cognitive impairment that relates to Parkinson's, or perhaps Parkinson's related, something like Lewy body dementia, may have a benefit from the ketones. But for many, the ketogenic diet, a ketogenic approach, or getting into nutritional ketosis can be helpful.
Dr. Bergman went on to explain why. It turns out that ketones can come to the rescue of the brain as a form of backup energy.
Essentially, what's happening, let's say in Alzheimer's and other kind of neurodegenerative diseases, is that there is an energy crisis, right? The brain becomes almost starved or very, very hungry for more energy. And ketones appear to be able to kind of rescue or save the brain from an energy perspective. The 30,000-foot view is that certain regions of the brain start to falter. It's like, if you had a power wire network, there's certain areas that are critical that start to the wires start to get faulty, and it seems like ketosis is sort of a way that you can rescue this, so I think it's worth a try.
One way to get that ketogenic benefit is by taking MCT oil, and that is a very timely topic right now So I asked Dr. Bergman about it.
The other thing I wanted to talk about maybe before about full keto diet, there's been a tremendous amount of attention in the last 2 or 3 weeks to Stephen Cunnane in Quebec and this research he's been doing on MCT oil, and it's specifically on people with MCI. And they're taking for a period of 6 months, roughly kind of the equivalent of 2 or 3 teaspoons of MCT oil in a milk type drink twice a day. And the evidence indicates cognitively they're getting a good result. I don't want to oversimplify it, but it's interesting research. And just have you been following that? And what's your take on that? And
Yeah.
particularly on its bearing for people with MCI?
Yeah, so Cunane's work is important. I think, obviously he's probably, when it comes to the kind of hardcore research in brain bioenergetics it's particularly related to ketosis, he's one of the major thought leaders there. I think it's fascinating. I am always hesitant to believe that there's going to be one thing that is like the solution, but there are certain things that really move the needle, right? And it does appear that that giving the body ketones in some way, even if they're not necessarily eating a ketogenic diet, because I have had people that just can't kind of comply with a full nutritional ketogenic diet, but they are able to take MCT oil. These go straight to your liver, where they can basically be used as sort of like instant energy, right? It's sort of an instant energy in that your body, your liver changes the MCTs into ketones, and then the ketones are what actually the body is using then to get it, like, so fats can't cross the blood-brain barrier, ketones can. So MCT oil is a quick way to kind of give your body ketones. So for those that haven't sort of experimented with MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride oil, which is not exactly the same thing as coconut oil, the coconut oil can be helpful too in some cases, but MCT oil is something that you want to slowly build up to. I wouldn't start with a few tablespoons a day or three teaspoons a day. I would start with like a half a teaspoon with some food and see how it goes.
Now in the Facebook Live, Dr. Bergman went much deeper on ketones in the keto diet, in the keto flex diet, and I really do encourage you to watch the full video. Again, there's a link below. But when it comes to ketogenic energy, one simple proven way to get that benefit can be MCT oil. It's something you can consider and try if you want to. Of course, talk to your doctor before you try something like this. But if you are determined to defend your cognition and give yourself the best possible chance of slowing, halting, or reversing your cognitive decline, this is one option. And I thank Dr. Bergman for discussing it with us. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, as always, be kind to your mind.